Hey, what's up? I'm here to show you your featured meal of the week. We're going to make teriyaki beef noodles. Let's go over the ingredients real fast. The ingredients for this recipe include some frozen mixed vegetables. I took a cup of them here. Can just save the rest in the freezer for later on. Any kind of teriyaki sauce will do. This is the brand that we chose to use for this recipe today. A little bit of spray oil for your pan. A big skillet or pan to cook my steaks in. I have some chow mein stir-fried noodles. Here's the brand that we use. Anyone will do from the store from the Asian section. And then also I have two steaks here. I'm going to make both of them at the same time, but I'm going to use one for later on in the week. This meal, you're also going to save half of it and make it for your lettuce wraps later on. I have a pot of water here that I'm going to use to make my noodles. That's all you need for this recipe. So let's go over how to cook the steak. For this recipe, you're going to cook both of your steaks first, and then you're going to make your noodles and then add your vegetables in and your teriyaki sauce at the end to finish out your meal. So I have my steak here. It's good to have your steak room temperature. You can see this, I got a pretty big steak right here, and actually you can see that the bone is in. I'm going to cut all that out after, and the fat, I'm going to trim some of the fat after, but I'm going to use that to cook and get some of the flavor. What we like to do is lightly season the steak with some salt. You can do that on both sides. So I have my pan at medium to medium-high heat. I'm going to oil it with some spray, or you can use some cooking oil. And I'm simply going to throw my steak right in my pan. Start to sizzle beautifully. I'm going to cook it for about 5, 6, 7 minutes on each side to complete my steaks. So I've had the steak cooking for about 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes on one side. Gonna go ahead and flip it. A nice golden brown. You can see it sizzling. I'm gonna do it for about 6 minutes or so on the next side. Now with steak, the longer you cook it, obviously it'll be less red in the middle, so it depends on how you like it. If you like it more rare, cook it for less time. If you like it more well done, cook it longer. I'll take that off and I'll show you guys how to trim it up. While my steak is cooking, you can see I have my water boiling. Check your package instructions for your noodles. And then the ones that I got, I only need to cook them and boil them for 3 minutes. Once I get done with that, I'm going to strain them, put some cold water on them. I'm going to clean out my pan, and I'm actually going to do most of my noodle stir fry in this big pan here once everything's done. We'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so my steak looks just about done. Let that drain a little in my pan. One thing to remember when you are cooking steak, let that sit for a couple of minutes. It'll keep all the juices in and the flavor to your steak. Looks like my noodles are just about done. Cook these for this particular brand for 3 minutes. Take these off and strain them. Show you how to slice up the steak in a moment. So here's how you're going to slice up your steak to get it ready for your meal. I got my other steak cooking in the pan. I'm going to save that one for a meal later on in the week. Just simply going to go around, and the fat that I might not want to eat, or you may not want to eat, go ahead and trim that off. There's also going to be a bone in this particular cut that I got. Want to cut that out. That's going to depend on which steak you choose from the store. Then what you're going to want to do is start to slice up your steak like so. It's got a nice color to it, has a little bit of pink in it, and I'm simply going to slice this all the way through, and I'm going to throw it on top of my noodles. So once I've taken all the fat and bone away, I have this left over for my meal. For some of you, this is perfect, but it's a lot of steak. So you can throw this all in your meal, or if you'd like, you can save a little bit for later on to throw in another meal later on in the week. So my second steak is finished. I'm going to take that out and let that rest for a couple of minutes. You can see I have my other steak sliced up that I'm going to use for this recipe. And what I would recommend for doing for this, you can use the same pan. And I have quite a few paper towels here, and I'm simply going to soak up my grease and throw it away. I'd recommend doing this rather than throwing it straight down into your garbage disposal. That's not good for it. I'm going to clean that out, and I'm going to throw my vegetables right back in there. Once my vegetables are heated up, I'm going to throw my noodles in, my steak, get the sauce in there to warm everything up, and your dish will be ready. So I've heated up my vegetables. When they're frozen out of the freezer, it won't take very long. Take the noodles out of my strainer and throw those in. Now remember, I'm going to cook all this together, but I'm going to use half or so for recipes later on in the week. I'm going to add some teriyaki sauce. It's good to add a little bit. Stir it up. Still have my heat on to re-warm my noodles. And then if you're a person who likes more sauce, obviously you can add as much as you'd like. So just keep going until it's all mixed together, and then I'm going to throw it on a plate and I'm going to top it with the steak. So here's your final product. You can add a little more teriyaki glaze to the top if you'd like. This is an Asian style meal, so it's good to put some Asian style flavor on. We like sriracha, but any flavor will do. This is a great simple dish to have in your repertoire of things that you can make. Double it up for a date night meal. This thing's going to taste fantastic. Enjoy, eat up, and don't forget to save your steak and the rest for other meals later on in the week. See you on the next feature meal. Yo, studies show that chicks dig guys who cook. It also shows that they dig guys who click on things after YouTube videos. So go ahead and click on our promo video if you haven't already. Check out our Hook a Brother Up video so you can see how you can get discounts and hook your friends up too. Like us on Facebook to stay connected. And also subscribe to our YouTube channel so you have a ton more content there to check out. Go to singleguymealplan.com. You can sign up for plans there. We'll see you guys on the next video.